The power and the freedom of mathematics is a flaming sword. It shall be our duty to use it justly. Hold it high, guard it well. Mathcourt, where common sense prevails. Mathcourt, with the Honorable Judge Sandra Day O'Crater presiding.
Order in Mathcourt. You people are beginning to get on my nerves. Stop these interruptions or I'll have you hanged for something. Now then, you are accused of a math crime. How do you plead?
Oh, like this, Your Worship. Please, don't let them send me to prison. I've been a good little boy. All I want is to see the sun rise again.
What I meant was, are you guilty or innocent?
Oh, he is guilty, Your Great One.
I am not. I am innocent.
Innocent? Did you hear that, Your Honor? These two-bit crooks, they think they can come into a court of law and whine themselves into a good verdict.
What's the charge, Mr. District Attorney?
I'll tell you what the charge is. I mow the district attorney's lawn.
Well, then this court finds you guilty of bad taste.
Oh, he has 2 lawns.
Well, that's true, Your Honor, and I pay him to mow both of them.
Oh, so far, I fail to see much of a math crime.
What you fail to see, Justice Giver, is that he is cheating me. He pays me to mow both lawns, but he pays me less to mow the second lawn.
Is this the case, Mr. District Attorney?
Of course. Bailiff, I have taken the liberty of producing a scale drawing of the 2 lawns. This is my house. This is my front lawn. This is my side lawn. Now, I pay this slovenly defendant $10 to mow the triangular lawn and $7.50 to mow the rectangular lawn.
And that is the unfair part.
How did you arrive at this pricing, Mr. DA?
Well, Your Honor, it should be apparent, even to a judge, that the triangular lawn is larger than the rectangular lawn.
Your Honor, that is a bald-faced lie.
It is? Good. I have always wondered what a bald-faced lie is. This is it, huh? I'm going to allow that particular outburst because it was in response to something profound that I said. But don't press me.
Your Honor, these 2 lawns are the same area. He should pay me $10 to mow the rectangle and $10 to mow the triangle.
Your Honor can plainly see that the triangular lawn is larger than the rectangular lawn. Now, I estimate the rectangle to be, about 3/4 the size of the triangle. Therefore, I pay him 75% as much, $7.50. I rest my case.
You make your point. I rule in favor...
Hold on, your robed person. Look at this. May it please the court...
No, that won't please the court. Oh, you vandalized one of the exhibits. Oh, you're going to do an extra 10 hard ones for that, buddy.
Yes, what are you doing, young defendant?
I cut this triangle in 2 to prove to you, Dimbulbs, that the areas are the same.
This better be good.
You see? The area of this triangle is exactly the same as the area of this rectangle. Therefore, he should pay the same price to have each lawn mowed.
You are absolutely right. The 2 areas are exactly the same. How do you explain your faux pas, Mr. District Attorney?
Gee, I'm not sure, but I guess I'd do it rather poorly.
How did you arrive at this conclusion, defendant?
Through eyeballing the situation and geometry.
Oh, sure, geometry. Geometry, is that fair to use in a court of law?
I don't know, but I'm going to let it stand pending appeal. Pay him the extra money, Mr. District Attorney.
All right, but I'm not happy about it.
Case dismissed. And once again, justice has prevailed in...
Mathcourt.
Don't you ever say that again!
To learn or not to learn math, that is the question. Whether it is nobler to improve the mind by braving the slings and arrows of outrageous fractions, or by dozing in class, learn nothing. To nap, to sleep, perchance to daydream. Ah, there's the rub. For if I doze through decimals, How shall I fulfill this vaulting ambition to be the busiest actor in the land? Nay, I must, forsooth, know math, for the year hath but 52 weeks, and I must know how to squeeze in a dozen films, 3 plays, a score of commercials, and a hit series or 2. 'Tis the shining sword of mathematics that will permit me such division. Without math, I will be but an understudy, a feeble fellow. But with math, I'll play Iago plus Othello, then smite Cosby and do the ads for Jell-O.
Learn math. It's a subject you'll never outgrow.
This is Aunt Angela Brown. A word of advice for you. Mathematics. It's a mental tool. Use your head. It's super cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the incomparable Augustina Provolone.
Everywhere I see them there, I stop and stare at patterns. I don't care, I must declare I've got a flair for patterns. On my hair, the clothes I wear, my savoir-faire is patterns. All I see is patterns, the patterns that repeat. Let's go into the bathroom. I know we're in a room where you would not expect much math. Usually you're in here for a shower or a bath. But if you gaze upon the floor and if you're kind of smart, you'll see the repetition is like geometric art. Wow! Look. Everywhere I see them there, I stop and stare at patterns. I don't care, I must declare I've got a flair for patterns. On my hair, the clothes I wear, my savoir-faire is patterns. All I see is patterns, the patterns that repeat. Hey! A polka meister like myself never has to be bored. I just grab my axe and play some patterns on my keyboard. Now's the time for earplugs if you care about your health. So stand back, everybody. I'm gonna express myself. Look at this! Patterns! I've got blisters on my fingers! Woo! Hey! Aw, get down! Yeah! Help me, somebody! Still there? Okay. Next time you find yourself at an exciting polka party, you can make some patterns with your feet and with your body. If you don't know the steps yet, here's the gang with all the answers. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Weird Al Polka Dancers. Here they are. We see them there, we stop and stare at patterns. We don't care, we must declare we've got a flair for patterns. On our hair, the clothes we wear, our savoir-faire is patterns. All we see is patterns, the patterns that repeat. Wallpapers, skyscrapers, funny papers, patterns. Evergreens, nouvelle cuisine, human beings, patterns. Garden rakes, wedding cakes, rattlesnakes, patterns. Golden wheat, little feet, my heartbeat. I gotta stop. Patterns, 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 patterns.
The story you are about to see is a fib, but it's short. The names are made up, but the problems are real.
It was Monday, 9:43 a.m., and thunderstorms were sweeping toward Manhattan from the north. Travel was a mess. The GW Bridge was jammed. The Throgs Neck Bridge was jammed. Traffic was at a standstill on the east side bridges. Dental patients on Park Avenue were complaining about their bridges. There was even a slowdown on the Lloyd bridges. I was working the day watch out of Mathnet. My partner is George Franklin. The boss is Joe Greco. My name is Tuesday. I'm a mathematician. A mathematician who has just beaten the rain.
Boy, we are in for a wet one.
Morning, Pard.
Hi, Pat. Get wet?
Nope, just missed it.
Not by much. Pat, look at the way the wind is blowing the rain. That is one potent force. I wonder how strong the wind has to blow to make the rain change direction this much.
Don't know.
How was your weekend, Pat?
Uneventful. Yours?
Oh, mine was eventful. Martha and I went to an opening at MoMA. You know, the Museum of Modern Art.
Uh-huh. What was up?
An exhibit of the new pre-interesting artist, Noah Vale. He paints sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Uh-huh.
What medium? Watercolors, oils, acrylic?
Mustard.
He paints sandwiches in mustard?
Uh-huh. He was a protege of Salvador Dali.
George.
Truth. One of his most pre-interesting pieces was an absolutely blank canvas.
What's it called?
Hold the mustard.
George, one of these days, the men with the nets... Pat Tuesday. Oh, really? Of course. Put him on, Captain Greco. Thad Green is on the phone.
The chief?
Uh-huh.
From our old hometown, California?
Pick up the phone, George. Hello, Chief Green. It's Pat.
Pat, how are you?
I'm just fine, sir. Thank you.
Hi, Chief Green. It's George Franklin Mathnet. I went to the Museum of Modern Art this weekend.
I don't care, George. I've got a job for you, too.
What's up, Chief?
Remember the case of the Despair Diamond?
Oh, the diamond that was worth a fortune? And everyone thought it brought bad luck to the owner?
Well, it has resurfaced.
That case was solved. I thought the gem was given to charity.
It was. It's about to be exhibited at a grand charity gala in Northern California, and there's fear that it might be stolen.
How can we help?
2 ways, George. Number 1, don't steal it. Number 2, get to Monterey, California. Make sure no one else steals it.
But, Chief, we can't just pick up and...
I've already cleared it with Captain Greco, and I've faxed you the info on the BG.
Information on the background, Pat.
I wish you good luck.
Partner, let's roll.
You mean, let's fly. I'm getting a little concerned. Pat's usually prompt. Martha's commented on it. Well, she's my wife. Martha, not Pat. Pat's my partner.
Traffic was heavy today, but I'm sure she'll make it.
We're going to Monterey, California.
This plane's going to San Francisco, California.
Oh, sure, I know. We're going to change planes there and then continue on. This flight's scheduled to leave at noon.
Uh-huh. And arrive at 2:43.
That's 2 hours and 43 minutes. Of course, we're flying across 3 time zones.
Uh-huh.
So we're actually in the air 5 hours and 43 minutes.
That's the scheduled time. It could be longer today.
How so?
Headwinds.
Right, headwinds. Because we're flying into the wind currents.
As I was told that the headwinds could reach 200 miles an hour today.
These planes usually fly at about 450 miles per hour.
That's a 200-mile-an-hour headwind.
Would slow us down to about 250.
Could delay us as much as an hour. Certainly a lot faster than our forefathers made the trip in their covered wagons.
Yeah, I'll say.
Nice chatting with you.
You leaving?
No, just going up to the flight deck.
Flight deck?
Uh-huh. It's easier to steer the plane from up front.
Sorry I'm late, George. Good morning, Captain.
Glad you made it. Your friend's becoming a little concerned.
He's a worrywart.
Where have you been?
Didn't you read Thad Green's info? Info? Information, George?
I know what info means, Pat. I didn't see anything in it that said you were supposed to be late.
Said we might have to go undercover.
So?
So I had to get some clothes out of the cleaners. Sue me.
Know how long this flight is, Pat?
Yes. Can't you just sit back and enjoy the flight for once?
Sure. That's the way you want it to be. Of course. Do you know how much this baby weighs, fully loaded?
Yes.
So do I.
Good. 565,000 pounds.
Right. You can take that with you when you leave. It's free.
What did you get from the facts from Chief Green?
Well, there have been a number of jewelry heists in the area over the past few months.
Right, and the chief is pretty sure who done it.
Right. An international playboy named... What was it?
Archie Leach.
Ah, yes. Archie Leach.
For months, he's been in, around, or about every la-di-da society affair when precious jewelry was stolen.
And the police are sure he's the thief, but they can't prove it.
This is a strange case, Pard. We think we know who did it, but he hasn't done it yet.
True. The report says undercover cops have been tried before.
Yes, and Archie Leach is slick. He recognizes them and doesn't pull any hanky-panky. We're going to have to be good actors to pull this off.
Yeah, if we're going to catch a thief.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have reached our cruising altitude of 37,000 feet.
That's exactly 40 feet more than 7 miles above the ground, Pat.
Uh-huh.
Approximately 7 miles above the ground. For those of you seated on the right side of the aircraft, you can get a breathtaking view of Elmira, New York. Those of you on your left will have to use your imagination. Thank you for flying American Airlines.
We're about to start our in-flight movie, The Fraud of the Wright Brothers, Why Man Can't Fly, starring the only man Will Rogers ever met and didn't like, Wiley Post. For those of you next to the windows, please lower your shades so your fellow passengers don't throw their in-flight food at you in flight. Into the San Francisco area and are presently about 80 miles southwest of the airport.
Those of you on the right side of the aircraft have a beautiful view of Monterey Bay and the Carmel Peninsula.
Who did the chief say was meeting us in Monterey, Pat?
The sheriff. A fellow named Mooney Rooney. We made a quick change of planes at the San Francisco airport, and in a matter of minutes, we were landing in Monterey.
I think I'm supposed to meet you folks. Sheriff Mooney Rooney.
I'm Pat Tuesday. This is my partner.
George Frankley, Mathnet.
Frankly, Pat. Bags.
Oh, thank you, sir. As the sheriff helped us with our luggage, he told us we were about to be late for a preview showing of the Despair Diamond. The diamond was the centerpiece of a gala that hoped to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Save the Out of Doors Fund. Very important. Then, a slight delay.
What's wrong, Sheriff Mooney?
Oh, it's a parking ticket. It's a parking ticket for parking in a no parking zone. This is the third one I've got this week.
But you're the sheriff.
Yeah, but the sheriff has to set a good example, don't he?
I guess so. Who gave you the ticket?
I did. Oh, come on. Let's go. Throw him in here.
It took a little doing, but we finally got organized and got in the car. We were headed for our home away from home, the hotel, so that we could change out of our Mathnet uniforms and into undercover clothes. We changed as quickly as we could while the sheriff waited for us at the hotel. As we got ready to leave for the gala to keep our watchful eyes on the Despair Diamond, the sheriff filled us in on some last-minute details. Though the hostess of this fancy affair knew we were Mathnetters undercover, the sheriff told us she could be trusted. He said, let's roll. So for the moment, at least, we felt right at home. The sheriff took us to an estate on the famed 17-mile drive overlooking the Pacific Ocean. It was a very beautiful place. Some digs, huh?
This is a high rent district, Pat. This place is owned by our hostess, a real dowager named Lady Esther.
Lady Esther?
Lady Esther Astor Astute.
So this is...
The Esther Astor Astute Estate.
Just remember, you're my husband.
Martha's going to be surprised.
We were using the phony names Nick and Nora Chuck, posing as choice beef growers from Omaha, Nebraska.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Whom shall I say is calling?
Nick and Nora Chuck.
Please follow me. Yes. Nick and Nora Chuck.
Oh, how nice to see you.
Lovely to meet you, Lady
Good
Astute.
afternoon, Lady Astute.
Thank you so much for coming, both of you. Thank you. Oh, please do come in, won't you? And have a cup of tea. It's so exciting having you here.
Lady Esther. Oh, I swear you look younger with each breath you take.
Archibald, you irascible scrapple of falderall. Oh, I want you to meet some old friends, Nick and Nora Chuck of the Omaha Chucks. This is Archibald Leach.
How do you do?
Hello, Mr. Leach.
Howdy.
It's so
wonderful of Lady Astute to give of her time and money to help save the out-of-doors. Don't you agree, Mr. Leach?
Oh, indeed, I do. I've always been very fond of the out-of-doors. Gives me something to walk through while moving from my manse to my auto.
What do you do, Mr. Leach?
Do? About what?
I meant, well, for a living.
I'm sorry, I don't speak Omaha East.
Oh, don't be an obnoxious twit, Archibald. Archibald is a remittance man.
Yes, as was my father before me and his father before him. I come from a very long line of black sheep.
Do you covet fine jewelry, Mr. Leach?
I can take it, or leave it. Oh, darling, I fear I must be going.
No.
Yes. But, Nora, I was wondering if I might interest you in a game of golf one of these fine days. At my club, of course.
We'd love to, Mr. Leach. I'm invited, I presume.
Yes, you do. Bring me on.
Caviar, please. Would you, care to partake?
No, thank you.
What is that cloth? It's like fish eggs.
It's caviar, sir. Caviar on Zwieback.
Zwieback?
Simply everyone's on a diet.
Oh, grab one, Pat. Fish eggs on shirt cardboard.